the truth of this is that I was not expecting this when it happened upon me. In some of my previous videos, I had shown bottles popping out because when I lived with my ex, there was a property above ours that I had gotten permission to do metal detecting. I had found some bottle fragments and started digging and finding bottles, but the ground was so frozen. On my lunch hours, I would go and I would be chiseling and digging, and nights digging, and it was in the same area. But now that the ground is yielding, and Corey, the property owner, decided he would start moving the dirt and leveling the ground, he came upon a spot which was just outside of where I was digging these bottles. He took the skid loader and started digging up and saw there was bottles. So he put some of these bottles in a pile for me, or knew that there was bottles in there, so we set it aside and then scraped off a layer of these bottles and put it into a huge pile. But still under that there were more bottles. So when I arrived on the scene, because I'm thinking, okay, I'm dropping off dirty face digger, and I probably should get back up to that property and do an update on the cistern that I was digging out last summer.
Right.
To see what it looked like, because he's getting closer to the cistern and digging it out for me. I saw this pile of bottles, and I'm like, oh my goodness, there's bottles just laying on top of the ground. I started collecting them, doing some recordings that you'll see in videos. And then he shows up. And I said, are you still okay with me getting these bottles? He says, yes. And so while they did their cleanup, I started digging bottles. It was a hot day. And this was 2 days ago. And I just started digging and chiseling and digging and chiseling into this ground, this pit. And this is what came out. And the thing is I didn't have to do any metal detecting here because I already knew there were bottle fragments. So these are laying on top of the ground, and I'm picking them up and being very greedy, but I'm trying to record at the same time. But these are early.
Those look kind of familiar.
And I think it says Dr. King's on that one. And so I'll do, as I'm cleaning, which I only... Dr. King's,
and then New Life, and I can't make out the last word. I don't have my glasses with me.
And I'm failing to.
New Life pills?
Yes, New Life pills. And I haven't done any research on these things yet. Some of them look familiar from before, but look at this. I have no idea. Paris.
Ed Pinaud from Paris.
Still unclean.
That's simply amazing.
And look at this. These are blob tops right here, and that still has a cork in it. These are the old mason jars, which you'll find.
Yep, I recognize that one.
You'll find a little inner lining, which is either
the rubber one,
porcelain or glass, and then the whole bottle.
And it says ball right on it. Mason.
These are very old, and
that's an old canning jar.
And I'm guessing these are even later because
that almost looks like a ketchup bottle, but
it may be.
It doesn't have a screw top.
Don't know I haven't done any research on that, but do you see the little light shine? That's what I call fairy dust.
Okay.
So the longer it's in the ground, the older it is. It'll have that dust on it, which this one did, and I cleaned it and see the dust is gone. But still a little bit. You don't want to clean them or scrub them too much because that will decrease the value.
3-in-1. I wonder if this is an old, 3-in-1 oil bottle. Mm-hmm. Look at that. That's got to be, I need to clean the bottom. It might have a date on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and look at this. I did not, and I do have, this one had the cork still in it, believe it or not, but I left it out because I was drying it. This, only on this side, because this is how it came out, and I was trying to...
Dr. Hayes, that's cough medicine.
There you go. And look at the rest of it. It's almost white. So I do not want to scrub this off. I only want to put it under water and get off the dirt. Other than that, I want to leave it in its form.
And there's part of the cork still in there.
It may or may not be. It depends on how much dirt's packed in there. You'll find out when it gets out. But this is a really interesting thing. I found this in the midst of all of that, and it came out as shiny as it is now. There is no fairy dust on it. It looks like the day it was made.
Has it got anything on the bottom?
And I don't know yet because I haven't done any research.
That's another one that's got to be soaked.
But not even soaked, just looks like there's dirt in it, so the cork is not in there. But can you believe that? Look how beautiful that is.
That almost looks like a perfume bottle.
It's been under the earth for hundreds of years with all of these, and yet it came out looking like that? Don't understand it. These are really nice and valuable. These are ink bottles.
Damn
Sometimes
right.
the ink is still in it.
My grandparents had those.
Isn't that beautiful? This is in really good shape.
It says something on the bottom, too. Well, maybe not.
Haven't gotten to that part yet, but hopefully you'll be here in the cleanup process. Look at this one. Sanford's. I think that says Sanford's.
Sanford, who makes the permanent markers. Sharps.
May
Never
or may
mind.
not be the same one. Now these, some of them had corks and some of them had glass stoppers.
I'll bet that one goes to that one.
You know, it doesn't. I
No,
put them in all of them.
I meant this one.
No, I put them in all of them. See, it doesn't fit.
May had a rubber.
So it might have been some other bottle that's been broken because I have lots of broken bottles out there. But this is nice, but it seems like all of the ones that I find of the glass stoppers has a little bit of crack on the end. Now, before I get to this, this is a old oil lamp that I broke at the last minute. I spent a lot of time digging this out. And right at the last minute, I saw something and I looked up and I tapped it. This is paper thin. I tapped it and it broke, and I just should be sick. I even swore really, really, really bad. I don't know how I'm going to...
Really, really bad, she swore.
Yeah, I did. Son of a bitch or motherfucker or something. I don't know. It was bad. I would normally not swear like that, but that ruined it.
That is friggin' awesome.
It ruined this because this would have been worth so much money, this original oil lamp without the breaks in it, and still part of the top. And this is to something else. Brass. I mean, bronze or copper.
Yeah, it looks brass to me. It's got verdigris on it.
Well, and so will copper and so will bronze. So it just depends on what they're made of. I got to do some research. This was a little goblet. This, right here, I broke in the process. I hate that I broke it, but I did break the base of this one. But you can see it's in the shape of an eagle.
Yep, and it's got...
And the top would
Here,
have been...
hang on. It's got the wings carved right into it.
And look at this.
And
This would
there's
have
the
been
eagle's head.
the top that sat on it, and I broke it. I didn't break this. I found it separately, but I broke this part. And then I've got that. Who knows? I mean, why do we have screw tops, cork tops, blob tops, all in the same hole? Well, there's theories behind it. And look at this. Whiskey bottle. What kind of top is that?
It's from when I was 18. I was over
so
here.
why are they putting the
Probably
same...
found that up by the Black Angel.
It was all here in one pit. This is an old pencil. It had a little ring over it. I broke that. Glass buttons. And this. This is shoe polish. And notice the picture of it. Now, if I'm not, my eyes aren't deceiving me, I'm just going to run out on a limb to say that that might be a black man polishing shoes. That is old. And look at the condition of it. It's amazing.
especially for around
Play marble.
in the plains, in the plains states.
It was all here. So where did they come from? This is another little thing I've never seen before. It says 18, maybe, because you got to look at it this way. I don't think you can see it. You have to read it backwards if you were going to do it. 18 something. 1868.
Take it to the mirror.
1868.
1868?
That was before Council Bluffs was even established. Because Council Bluffs was established in, I think, 1885. Or do you know?
You have to search Canesville. It was named Canesville, and then they changed the name to Council Bluffs.
Yep. And then some of the pottery that comes out of there, made in Holland. Now, Holland was where my 11th great grandfather was a clergy member who instigated all of this pilgrimage. But it was the other guy that came over on the ship with the pilgrims, and he died in Holland, and they buried him under his church. He never made it over, but my 10th grandfather...
Don't move this stuff around too much, because you might be able to somewhat reassemble it.
You know, and that's why I put all of that in here just in case. This is in perfect shape. So, you know, the Holland and the England, that's my background. So it's exciting to me. I found these two spoons, and this is in perfect shape. But this has my blood on it because I cut myself on one of the glasses before I took this out.
Think this shit's easy?
Look at that. It's in perfect shape.
That's a tin cup.
And all
porcelain.
Of these
It's porcelain. Porcelain on tin. Wow.
I found the match to this last summer and found this part this summer. That's a doorknob. And, you know, what do you do with all these bottles? Right there. I got that at $10 down at Mom's place, believe it or not. And I'm going to put shelves in it.
What, that glass thing?
Yeah, that glass display. And that's where all these are going to be. Council Bluffs on this one. Look at that.
CEOS Davis Paints and Class.
And glass? Is it glass or class?
It could be class. Maybe the video will pick it up really good.
Yeah, and I haven't done any.
You know, video shows more than the human eye can see.
I think I might wait until Suzanne gets home to go through this. I'm gonna knock something off. Well, you know, I've dropped a couple of these, and that's why they're broken before I could even get them here.
Emberson Drug Company. Something, Missouri. Wow, that's...
And I got to get these things cleaned up before the spider eggs start hatching.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Now I did start cleaning, and these are the ones that I found of the mason jar lids because I want to keep them with the inserts. And a lot of times the inserts are broken. Sometimes they're glass, sometimes they're porcelain, depending on the age. But I've got a lot of these. I don't even know where I could sell them or what people want them for. I'll have to do some research on that.
And put it in eBay.
Yep.
So what are you using for a wash here?
Well,
just
if
soapy
it's
water?
not anything valuable, it's the soap and it's the water. If it is something valuable like this, I'm just washing it off. I'm not, I might rub it off, but that's all I'm doing. I am not doing anything else but just the water.
The old water and rub technique.
Yeah, and even in the insides, if that one looks like it has part of a cork, so if it has any part of the cork, I do not take out the cork. I do not clean the insides. If it does have just dirt in it, I'll use a bottle cleaning brush to get in there and clean as much as I can. But you have to be careful about cleaning bottles. It does decrease the value if it's in a rare or wanted state. In that case,
That's a neat one. What's it?
It says Union Pacific or Union. Grand Union. I found one before that's complete that I did a video on.
Grand Union, what's the bottom line?
Company. Grand Union Company.
Never heard of them.
And sometimes, depending on the maker, you'll see a mark on the bottom, and it might give the year.
If you can look it up online.
Right. But that does have the part of the cork still in it. Look at that. How nice that cork is. That's been under the ground for many, many years.
And that makes it even more valuable.
Yep. Not a lot valuable. Some of them are so common, like the...
well, I didn't...
Like the castor oil.
So, you're not telling me you have $1 million worth of stuff
I
here,
want
right?
to say I do. But I can't tell you that because some of them, just when you pull them out of the ground and the cold air gets to it or the heat, whatever, might give a crack in it. I mean, you got to be so careful. And look at this one. Don't know, but it's got blue in it. I don't know if that was filled with something other than what should be in there, and that might decrease the value. I don't know. I have to do the research on it. But some of them are cracked just by sheer bringing them out into the environment. Who knows?
That looks like a Tabasco sauce bottle back in the old days.
Well, you wish that it didn't have a crack in it. That was one that got a crack in it coming out. And, when you put the shovel in or the pick in and they're sitting on top of each other, you're bound to hit something. So you got to just inch away, and just like an archaeologist, and I am no archaeologist.
Right.
I'm no professional, but I do.
Because I watch the archaeologists and they dig with little tiny shovels and then they get so close and then it's all toothbrushes. And I'm like, nah, I wouldn't have the patience for that.
No, and I don't think I would either. I don't think I could get to that point. But if it made me some money and I can quit my job, yes. There you go. One dig. And I was hot and I was thirsty and I was hungry and I couldn't stop until I got the last thing. And ran out of battery. So I didn't get the part where I was laying in the hole, near dead, from top to bottom, dying. I did not get that on video. But I did get the bloody spoon.
We should go out and shoot the video of the blue bin with all the broken glass in it.
That's right. Let's do that.
All right.
Okay.